going to do one of those tutorials. This one's going to be about adding stuff to the GuMPer map. I'm Andy, Bairrandy. I had a few of the events that are happening in the Bairrada. Right, so here we are, we're on the website, Carl's website, Good Morning Portugal. We go over to the events map. We then open up the map, view larger map. If you're going to be adding a lot of events or points of interest, it's probably good to bookmark this or do a shortcut to this, then it saves all that messing about. I've already signed into my Google account from watching the Good Morning Portugal show this morning on YouTube. So here we are. Right, so we've got points of interest, meetups, events. These ones are sort of like closed, and this one's open just because of the setup, because I've arranged the order differently because I've put them all in date order. So you can see what's coming up next, and also makes them easier to delete after they've happened as well. So we've got points of interest, hit that little drop down, and there's all your points of interest. Different places. What we got here? Look at this. So this is this museum. This is in, this is the one that's in Anadia. Been there a few times, really good, blah, blah, blah. All different ones, all over the place. The good thing about coming to these drop downs is, and clicking here rather than going to the map, is if you click on them, they go, point you direct to it, and then you can zoom in direct onto it. Otherwise, you've got to sort of like jiggle the map about to get it. You zoom in, then you've got to move it. So it's a better way to see it. So we close up that then, and there's the meetups, all in random order. And what we'll do, we're going to look at the events, and that's what we're going to edit. Now the events, they've got a little grey drop down, and again, this is a handy thing to have, because if you click again, if you want to look at these events, you've got to zoom in and pick on each one. Whereas if you do the drop down and show the little greyed out ones, it'll then, you click on them and it takes you again direct to it, which is a lot easier. And again, you can zoom direct, you can zoom, just press the zoom button and zoom in. So it's a lot easier to navigate. Right then, so we're going to add an event. So we go to edit, we click on that, and we're off. Right, this is quite important. This little blue line here on the side, you see, it's lit up in the points of interest. Well, if we move there, it goes onto the meetups, and here it goes onto the events. It's where you want to add whatever you're adding to the map. And it's quite important in the fact that if you click on that, or when you start, it comes up initially on the points of interest, and you want to add events, and you don't move to the events. When you put it in, it's going to go into the points of interest section, not into the events. So it won't be seen, and then you've got to delete it all, and then you've got to redo it all again. Been there, done that. So so we're events, so we make sure it's lit up on the events. I'm going to scroll this side down as well, just so we can see what's going on. Right, and now we're going to, so I found this event earlier, and it's a magic show in Oia, in the Bairrada, in my region. That's a poster for it. I've been onto their, I found out the association and found the website that the Facebook page that it was associated with, or website, and found out some more information about it, and I've put that into my notes, which I will use later. But anyway, here we go. So it's in Oia, and it's at the Lago de São Simão, opposite the church. So we're going to find that. So let's go back to this. We're going to put in, first of all, put in Oia, right? So we'll put in Oia, click on that, and that takes us to Oia. Now, this is just a Google Maps general Oia destination. you can look at this. It's quite handy. This we're gonna do this. We're gonna add it to the map and start your add in your event, or we can have a look in Google Maps, which is what we do. It'll open up a new tab with this location in it. Because when we add an event to a specific location, it can also associate the Google Maps pictures, which is quite handy, so people can look at the poster, then scroll through and look at pictures of the area, blah, blah. So we're going to look at this now. I'm looking at this, and initially I can see that that's not going to be a good thing to associate with, because that's actually the middle of Aveiro town, nowhere near Oia. That's some random scenic picture. That actually is a park in Oia, I happen to know. And there's some random dog and some random lorry. So we won't be using that. But whilst we're in Google Maps, it's a bit easier to navigate through to find the church. So I've got to remember roughly where it is. And I know that it's... Actually, if I zoom out, I know where the... Right, so I know where that is. So it's around about here somewhere. There's a pharmacy here. The cemetery. Well, it's going to be near a cemetery, isn't it? A bit out of touch here. Right. Well, let's just look up the church address on the map. That's probably going to be the easiest thing to do, isn't it? So it's Matriz. So I'm going to put that. Is that how I spell it? No, we don't want Matriz metal. We want Matriz. And there it is, in Igreja. And this, as we said, it's opposite it. Now, we're going to use a church, but there's a lot of messing about, and you can actually put it in the area that's opposite, but there's no pictures associated with it. It's right opposite, so we're going to use a church. And also, we can see there's some nice churchy pictures. One with some concerts, which is probably in that area where the magic's going to be. And a nice young lady. Right, so we'll use that. So we're going to go, so I'm going to copy that so it's easier for me to find on our map. And then we're going to close that up and go back to the GuMPer map. Boom. Right, we're going to add that now into there and find it here. We're just going to go search there. And then there's the church. Lovely jubbly. So we're now going to add that to our GuMPer map. Done. Now we're going to edit that. We're going to give it a title. We're going to first of all put the date 2023.04.15th, I think it was. Then we're going to put a couple of little emojis just to make it a little easier. We got, well, this is where I've done it earlier, so it's always, but what I'll do, I'll put it like that, like as if we had done before, magic. And then we get a magic wand, lovely, and edit, emoji again. What should we put in there? Like, we'll put a top hat. There you go, because magicians pull rabbits out of hats, don't they? And then we're going to call it a magic, well, in fact we'll call it a free, because it is free, space magic show in Oia. Now there might be a few Oias around Portugal, so we're going to say Bairrada. I might make mistakes. I've never done this before. It's quick and dirty. It'll be a one-time deal. If I make mistakes, so be it. Right, like so. Now we're going to do a little description of the event. Like I say, I've taken some information off their Facebook page, so I've got like their Facebook page link. I've got maybe a website. I am some information about it, and also I like to add, if you know the area, which I do, any local tips, hints, restaurants, bars, whatever in the area. So anyway, like I said, I've done that on my notes already. So there we are. I'll put that on my notes. Copy that. And we go back to the map. And we just paste that into there. Bada boom, bada bing. And then we'll take a look at that, make sure that's all okay. On April Saturday 15th at 11, we'll change that to AM. AM. In the Lagos M in, which is not that much difference, really too much. In Oya, next to the Matriz Church, we will have a street magic activity. Fantastic. Also join us Festival Bar for some light refreshment. The activity is free, so please join us. La 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 is a link, Facebook link, and there's some little extra stuff I've put in about that flower. It's not a flower festival. It's a flower festival. Now the difference of being covered in flour and covered in flour, isn't there? And it is a great procession. That's true. We've been there a few times. Great fun. There's also a good steakhouse there. Award-winning bakery. Do the best bolore in the Bairrandy. Add some. Very nice. They've also got a super little outdoor swimming pool in a park with a cafe upstairs. He does some food as well up there. And a great, there's a big, one of those larger style restaurants as well, just down from there, Don Richero's, that do those buffet style things. Anyway, that's all fantastic. That says there that it's going to add those details from Google Maps, which would be those photos. So we want to keep that. You can remove them if you want to, but obviously it's nice to have them. So we're going to add our poster, which is upload, browse. I'm going to browse my files on my computer where I keep all of this. Where are we? Events is what we want. And here we are. There it is there. Check that goes in okay. That's all good. Free magic show in Oya Bairrandy. Lake. I think that's all good. So we're going to save that. Right, and then, as you can see, it's spinning there. That's telling you it's loading up. Right, and now it's done. So it's saved to the cloud, where the map and everything's kept. And there it is, in the list, in date order. So that's fantastic. Right, it's the same process for adding your points of interest and for, well, the meetups is a bit of a different one because all those are really the areas and links to where you can find out when they are, because obviously they change all the time. So, but they're how you can find out about them. Yeah, this is another interesting thing. It only seems to list about 20 with coloured markers. After that, it seems to put them all in this, as you can see, 17 in other no value grayed out. Well, like I said, if we go to that little drop down, and this works the same when you're logged in or logged out, they're all there. So you can still go to them and you can click on them and it will take you to them just the same. It's got all the information about them. It'll have the links, the photographs. And as events finish, I delete them, and then automatically the next chronological, if that's a word, goes underneath. So it's pretty cool. And you can see there's loads of stuff backed up there. So anyway, now you've got no excuse not to add your events to the GuMPer map. If you've got any questions or queries, just contact Carl, and he'll contact me, or I'm sure he'll know the answer himself. I think that's it. Let's stop that then. Ciao bello.